Hey guys, Jamiy, and today on Roblox we're playing some more Loomian Legacy, as you can see on the screen right now. And so today we are taking all of the best Loomians and we're just going to slap them all in a team and see how well they do. So also before we actually get into the battles, okay, I wanted to quickly show you the team I have and just quickly tell you why I have them. So obviously a couple of days ago I did a tier list ranking all of the Loomians in PvP order, like from best to worst, also in my opinion. So this also might not be your opinion, but again, this is opinion based. But also, as you can tell, in that video I did Obsidian and Loomian in the S+ tier, like the top tier, which also I think is true. I think Obsidian is the best one right now in the game. If you haven't got a range attacker, especially one that can set up like Loomian, you just basically can't beat it. It's just so good. Loomian I think is a great second. Again, if you can't really hit it too hard, he basically sets up and it gets a lot of health back just by swapping out. Then that's S+, for S tier, which is like the tier right below it, the second tier, I say Bork and Trumbull, I put lows into there. I think Trumbull's probably the third one right now in the game. It just hits super hard and there's like not really anything really in the game that can resist it that much. The only thing that really in the game is like a tanky Urusol, like an Obsidian, if it's already got its secret ability set up a couple of times, otherwise it still hits it super hard. Then I'd say Trumbull. Trumbull is still great, even after the Battle Horn nerf, it is still monstrous, you gotta be very careful with it. Then moving on to A tier, I put in, on this one, I put in Eclipse, Ferroglyph, Urusol, then I did Ikazune and Sedimars. Also, I can't fit all of them on the same team. Also, I didn't bring Sedimars, because also I have Borak, there's no point in having both of them. Borak right now is just a superior version of Sedimars. It doesn't need to set up, because it already gets a boost by entering the fields. Also then Ikazune, I'd say is pretty down good right now, but I think Feral's a little bit better to use right now. So also I have Eclipse. Great, obviously, I'd say Eclipse is really good right now for the 3 immunities. 2 of them also which boost its speed, and also it covers a lot of weaknesses right now. Also Obsidian weak to light, Loomian weak to dark. 2 of the best ones in the game. Slapped Eclipse on the team. Now they'll think twice basically before using a light or a dark type move. It's pretty strong for that. Also then I have Ferroglyph, which also again, people might say that Ikazune is really good, and I do think that, but I think Ferro's just really good as well, and a little bit better for the fact that there's not too many like hard counters for it. So that's why I'm putting Ferro pretty much up here as well in the team. And also Urusol, everyone knows about Urusol. I don't think I have to really say anything about it. It hits super hard. Again, I guess you could replace it for Ikazune. So anyway, with that being said, that's the team. Let's hop into the battles then. Okay, hopping into the first battle then against RP Ranav 123, interesting name. So then, like I did say low, I did say that this was like quote-unquote the best team in my opinion, but I should mention, this doesn't mean you should slap them all in it's one team. Like, actually, look, it looks fairly good right now, like actually looking at it, but and there's also like a lot of weaknesses that this team has that I'm probably just not really thinking of right now, so let's go ahead and actually make the team. We definitely want Obsidian also, like that's number 1. Loomian I think is pretty bad to bring actually in this matchup. They've got a lot of things that can actually beat it. Trumbull looks pretty good. I forgot to swap Body Slam off for, I forgot to swap Raging Tackle off for Body Slam. This looks pretty good. Urusol looks pretty good as well. And do I want Pharaoh? I think I want Pharaoh. Wish I had Dark Surge low. I'll lead off with Urusol, I think. And I think that should be good. Yeah, I'm probably not going to bring the Eclipse, even though he might bring the Zulong, which he actually does. What did I lead off with? Urusol. It's kind of a bad lead for me, but I think I can take one hit, but obviously we're not going to risk that. Yeah, probably should have brought the Eclipse instead of Trumbull. But anyway, like I said, these are just my opinions, and that tier list I actually did was based on the like in an individual level. Just because there is like, let's say like also I picked the best 7 Loomians in the game that I think are really solid on their own. That doesn't mean you can like take the best 7 Loomians and slap them in a team. It doesn't matter if it's Pokemon, Temtem, whatever. You can't just take like the best 7 Loomians, Pokemon, whatever and slap them in a team. Sometimes it might work, but also sometimes it might not. For example, this team has like, I could have a lot of weaknesses, like the same thing basically. You can't really get rid of that. Like for example, I can't get rid of Poison Barbs. I can't get rid of Icicle Traps, unless I brought Ikazune, I guess, so you gotta keep that in mind. I'm probably gonna swap on to Ferroglyph here, I think, or actually just stay in, but Urusol is kind of too good to like get rid of this early, so let's go into Pharaoh here and hope for the best, because I don't really know how well we're going to tank this. So that's basically what I wanted to mention, that these are like the best individual Loomians in the game. That doesn't mean you should slap them on a team. I want to actually do this video because I've been getting a lot of questions recently, like, what is the best Loomian in the game? Or what is the best team? What is the best team I can have to just get a lot of wins? And that is why I'm actually doing this video, and that's why I actually sparked the idea. I'm kind of predicting Avatros to come out. Nope, just staying in. I should have gone for the Border Blast, but oh, actually no, it does. I outspeed it low. So yeah, but that's the thing though. There is no best team in the game. Also, this is just like for a title, I guess, like a small clickbait tile. Also not fake clickbait low, but I mean, it can definitely be like a really solid team. I wish I had Dark Surge, damn it. That would be so good. Bark looks pretty good here. Actually, Trumbull looks better, because we're not going to take a super effective Maroon. So yeah, but there is no best team in the game. Even if you, let's just say that there is a best team. The team I'm using right now, let's just say it is the best team. That doesn't mean you should really like use it on the team, because also it can still lose. The best teams can still lose. Don't worry about your team as much. Worry about trying to learn how to play the game, and then you'll naturally like learn how to make really good teams. What I would suggest, because like I said, I get this a lot. Like people ask me all the time, hey, is my team really good? Like, is it bad? Is it great? It doesn't really matter what team you use. Also, I use a lot of bad teams, because I let you guys pick my teams a lot, and they're always terrible. Don't hate yourself, thank you, man. So, obviously, I'm going to end up using quite a lot of bad teams. That's a quick Loomian army, by the way, as well. I'm just going to go for a quick pounce here for the extra damage. So, don't hit, yeah, thank you. So, what I would actually recommend for newer plays is, don't... Oh, yes! Yo, that's actually lucky. I'm trying to do commentary at the same time as well, but don't ask people for like the best Loomians, unless like you actually want to put together like the best Loomians in the team, or, like, I know, try them out. But basically, if you're completely new to the PvP scene, pick 7 Loomians that you like or you think are good. It doesn't matter if they are, but also pick like 7 fully evolved things, okay, not pre-evolutions. Like, probably don't slap a Propy on a team and expect to do really well with it. It's pretty difficult to use one. I'm gonna quick pounce for the damage, or actually, I could actually go into the Ursol here. That makes more sense, because it's Jungle Jutsu. But pick 7 Loomians that you like. Also, for me, I would probably pick like Zulong. I love Zulong. It is my favorite Loomian. I would still pick Luminami. Luminami is my second favorite Loomian. And then I'll pick like another 5. But always bring 7 to a battle, so also you can bring 7, but you can only use 5. But if you only bring 5, they know exactly what your team is, and if they have 7, they're also going to pick like the best 5 to use against you. So always go for 7. Like I said, it doesn't really matter if they're great in like working together, but just pick 7 Loomians that you like, and just try and learn how to play the game. Like, learn what your Loomians that you picked are good at, what they can do, what they can't do, and if you win a lot, then that's great. If you lose a lot, that's fine, because you're learning the game. So if you are losing a lot with the 7 Loomians that you pick, I kind of want to click Chase down. I'm going to click it. No, actually, just as in Nature's Raid. That's not exactly the greatest idea, but that's fine. So yeah, it doesn't matter if you lose, because also you're new to the game. You're going to naturally lose. But your goal should be, when you start doing PvP, is to try and learn how to get better at the game. It doesn't matter how many times you lose. Although, what then you can do, since you are learning, is if you are losing, like, let's say like you lose like, I don't know, 10 in a row, try and figure out which Loomian is doing the worst, because also if you're doing a lot of battles, you'll probably tell, okay, this Loomian is dying way too quickly, or it's not doing enough damage for what I want, or what I need to beat. Take that Loomian and swap it out with another one. That's basically how you can learn the game naturally on yourself as a starter, and basically like you just replace one Loomian at a time, then you try that exact same team with that one new Loomian replaced. If you're winning, that's great again. If you're starting to lose a lot of times, try swapping out another one. Like, it's basically like getting rid of the weakest link and replacing it with something else that you think might be better in it. That's basically how a lot of people get into this game, obviously, and how, like, for example, myself, especially in Brick Bronze, if you look at my first teams I did in Brick Bronze, they freaking sucked. I ran a Smackdown Greninja that had Toxic Spikes, I think I had Night Slash because I wanted the Dark type for the Psychic community, and I think the last move was spikes, because I wanted a ground for electric immunity, basically, just like troll people with it. It was not a good Loomian at all, like a secret ability Greninja. It was not good at all, but it was fun to use, that's completely fine. Also, like, a few teams later, I swapped out a couple of Pokemon, and I made new, like, basically an entirely new team in a couple of weeks or a couple of months, and then my teams actually started being good. That's how, if you want to get better at the game, don't really focus about your Loomians that much. Focus about trying to just learn the game, like, as much as possible, and it'll naturally come to you. Like, for example, a great way to actually get into the game is try and figure out what movesets you have, what like TPs they have, but it's mostly like movesets. So for example, it's Borok right now. If you see a Borok on the field, you'll probably assume that it's going to have this exact same moveset that I have, but it only really has 4 moves. Maybe Dodge, which probably people really don't really run Dodge, but it's like always going to be Earthquake, Raging Tackle, Mega Chomp, and Quick Pounce. That's just what people run in Borok. That's the only really good 4 moves. Again, people are dumb, sometimes they'll put Dodge on. But like, for example, Ferroglyph, you'll naturally learn that you can run these 4 moves, also Peace of Mind, you could run Provoke, you can run Flabbergast for Stab, you can run Spectral Burst for your Soul, you can run Dark Surge for Luminami, and you can run Boulder Blast for Serenite. So there's like, for Ferroglyph is a little bit hard because also there's 6 potential moves, and there's even more that, like, for example, it could have Dodge or something else. So also, like, some of these might be a little bit hard, but as long as like you can predict like what moves like you can potentially have, you can also swap out, make predictions, and that's basically how you get better at the game. So like I said, the entire reason why I wanted to make this video was just to, like, teach people, hey, it doesn't matter if you lose. I lose a lot of battles. I don't really care that much, to be honest, though. But yeah, also, you're gonna end up losing a lot of battles. If you're completely new, it doesn't matter if you have the best teams in the game. You will still probably lose quite a lot of your battles, because also you're not used to battling yet. Whereas if you're, I'm probably gonna click Shadow Sprint here, I think. Nah, slapped on KOs. But, for example, if you do get really good at the game, for example, like me, I eat your face, like a lot of like the really good PvP guys in the pro Discord, the pro PvP Discords, we can basically like choose really bad Loomians and still get wins with them. You saw me like in a lot of my videos, like I let you guys pick my teams. I have a lot of bad Loomians right now in this box. I have a Kabunga. I have won battles with Kabunga. It one-shots the Tatab, which is great. I brought an Igneo, which didn't really do that much, but it kind of did actually. It kind of like stalled out a Loomian enough so I can actually KO it with something else. Twilight just sucks. Unfortunately, it doesn't really do much, but that's not the point. You basically just want to like get the general idea of what you're doing, then you can build better teams. Once you get really good, you can basically use whatever you want, and you can still get wins. Like I said, right now one of the worst Loomians in the game is Volcaloa. Wouldn't really recommend this one. This is like one of the only ones that I really wouldn't recommend. Every fire type is basically better than it, and Zulong is better like as an attacker for ancient type, and also the Obsidian is way better as a tank. So like things like, for example, I guess a really good one is Luxor. Even though Luxor is like bottom of the list right now, like completely trash for PvP right now, it can still be really good. For example, it can really destroy Obsidian. It is one of the hardest hitters for Obsidian because it's a light type. As long as you know how to use it low, and you can use it well, it'll still be fine, even though it is trash. It might be a little bit harder to do, but it is possible. So that's what I would recommend. That guy wasn't really that great at battling, but I think that's what we're going to leave off, because I want this video to be fairly short, so like, try and get the word out, okay? It doesn't matter what Loomians you use. I'm still going to get asked this a lot, like, what is the best Loomians to use, or what's the best team to use? And I always usually say, like, it doesn't really matter, but I will suggest them some of the best Loomians that I personally think are in the game at this current moment. Which also, you can see, my team right now is probably filled with some of the best Loomians, if not the absolute best Loomians in the game right now. Right now, actually, they kind of like work pretty good on a team, but I wouldn't really recommend it all the time. Like, for example, I love using Vesperatu. Vesperatu completely shuts down your Soul. Your Soul can't do anything to Vesperatu. Vesperatu is not like S tier or A tier. I think, in my opinion, I think it's like around a C or a D, or a C or a B at most. But it can still counter a really good Loomian. Just because a Loomian is really bad in a lot of people's opinions, doesn't mean it has some sort of use. So, for example, like I said, Vesperatu beats your Soul, one of the scariest Loomians in the game. But unfortunately, it completely gets obliterated by Ticlipse, because Ticlipse is immune to all of its moves except from air-type moves that it gets. Another example could be like, what's actually a really good one? I guess like Borok. Himber could potentially tank a couple of hits from it and potentially threaten it and get rid of it, even though Himber is like, I would say right now one of the worst starters to run, but although right now they're all pretty darn good, except for like Valkyrie, because it's missing a metal move. That's basically what I'm trying to get across, so hopefully you guys enjoyed, hopefully like made it a little bit easier for some people to understand. I'll still suggest Loomians obviously, but it's just like, for the people that ask me constantly like, hey, what's the best Loomians in the game and what's the best team that I can potentially make, it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. As long as you're having fun, is another thing that counts. Anyway, hello, I'm gonna leave off here, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.